Day 2, episode 2 of my sexy Halloween cooking show. And today, steaks on the menu, or meat. We're gonna have some chimichurri, some garlic rosemary butter. I'm gonna show you how to sear three different steaks. We have skirt steak, New York strip, filet mignon, always 100% grass fed, always organic, rosemary, thyme, fresh garlic, parsley. Let's get to it. I like a big cut of steak. Now let's just wash these real quick. So we washed our New York strip, we washed our filet mignon, the world's tiniest filet mignon. We washed our skirt steak that's already been cleaned. Ask your butcher, they'll do it for you. Unless you're me, pat them dry. If they're wet, it won't intake the salt, the pepper, the seasoning, the butter. Make sure it's dry. See the difference? So now we're gonna add salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic just to season our steak. With the skirt steak, we are gonna put sofrito because I think skirt steak just takes a little bit more seasoning than regular steak. Unless you're gonna make it in a sauce, like an Asian sauce or in a red wine reduction, something like that. But today we're just searing it and eating it with chimichurri. So we'll add a little sofrito. Don't be cheap with the salt and the pepper. That's all the flavor it has, so generous amount. Rub that in. Make sure it's nice and salty and peppery. Turn them around. And we just repeat the same process all over again. So we're gonna add our skirt steak to a separate bowl right here so we can add some sofrito, which I'm gonna get right now. A little bit of sofrito and a little bit of oregano. Yes, I have the world's largest container of sofrito. We don't run out of this house, okay? There's always sofrito here. My name should be Miss Sofrito. Now this is too. You see that? Nice and thick. Make you want to smack your mom. You could use your hands like I usually would, but we're trying to be cute for Instagram, so. And all social platforms. And a little bit of oregano. We're gonna leave this in the fridge to marinate for like 10-15 minutes while we sear our other steaks and get our chimichurri and our garlic butter together. We're making chimichurri. We're making a mess, that's what we're making. So first we're gonna start some green peppers. And we're gonna chop these up nice and small. This is my version of a chimichurri inspired by Chef Kelvin. So once everything's nice and diced, I like it really small. It's going right on top of your steak. To the side. Repeat the process with the red pepper. A lot of garlic. Y'all know I love me some garlic. A lot of garlic. Almost forgot too. this up so we can see how much of everything we got going on right here. I like to smell it so I can know what's going on. You can use 2 more pieces of garlic. That's it. So this is what you end up with. You're gonna add red onion and then we're gonna cook this down. So now we're gonna cook this down, and as this is cooking, we're gonna chop parsley and cilantro. Alright, so while we're waiting for that to heat up, we're gonna start chopping our herbs. A mix of parsley and a mix of cilantro. And this goes right on top after we pour in our oil, our vinegar, our salt, our pepper. I'm just gonna leave that right there. So we're gonna add a little oil to 2 pans. One is for our steak, one is for our delicious chimichurri. So what I like to do when I pour oil into my cast iron skillet, I like to take a little bowl and rub it. Just rub it so that we can make sure that that oil is all over our pan, not just in one corner, not just in the other corner, right? So we're gonna let that sear up. And as this gets hot, okay, now Jen, your turn. We're gonna pour in our mixture from earlier. And we're just gonna let that cook down for just 1 or 2 minutes. You don't want it very soft. You just don't want it very strong, you know, raw. You don't want it raw. Let that cook down a minute. Keep your eye on that chimichurri. You don't want it to be overcooked. Once it's overcooked, it loses its flavor and now it's soggy vegetables in oil. We chopped up our parsley, our cilantro, and now we're gonna mash some garlic paste for our garlic butter, herb butter, which is rosemary, thyme, garlic, salt, pepper. Very easy. So we're gonna make our garlic herb butter. All we need is garlic, rosemary, thyme, salt, pepper. Luckily for me, I pre-blended some garlic in a cute baby bunch of it. So we're gonna chop up some rosemary, chop up some herbs, add that with some room temperature butter. We're gonna mix it all up and then I'll show you how to shape it into the nice circle shape that you see in restaurants. Let's just get a little bowl. Alright, so this seems like it's almost done. We're gonna give that 1 more minute. And now you see our pan is smoking, right? You see the smoke? Cool. We're gonna add a nice big cut of steak. And press down. And now that sear that you heard, that's what you want to hear. Filet mignon. Usually I wouldn't put 2 steaks in one pan, but this is so small. Again, press down, get that sear. And while our steaks are cooking, our chimichurri is done. Straight back into the container that we initially had it in. This goes in the freezer for about 1 minute, 2 minutes. We want it to completely cool down before we add our herbs. If you don't, your herbs get soggy. Everything gets soggy. Put that in the fridge. While this is doing its own thing and it's cooking on its own, let's make our garlic butter. Usually I suggest all steaks to be eaten from medium to medium well done. If you want to just eat a rock, just eat a rock. But rare, don't ask me about it, I'm not making a rare steak. So once it sears of 3 to 4 minutes on each side, you want to see this nice sear. So you just want to check on it after a few minutes just to check on your sear. Everything's going good. And I'll leave that down there for like another, I'll say 2 minutes. Turn this one over. We're gonna eat this one rare. Medium rare. Very good cut of steak. Doesn't need too much. So we're gonna turn our steaks. You see, look. Each side is already nice and seared. You're gonna turn it to the side and make sure you hit every side of that steak. For rare, just 4 minutes on each side. For medium rare, I'll say 5 to 6 minutes on each side. If it's a larger piece of steak, throw it in the broiler for about a minute. Medium well, about 6 to 8 minutes on each side, seared. And well done, 15 minutes on each side and it's cooked. Back seared, side seared. Alright, so we're gonna leave our filet mignon like this because we're gonna add the garlic butter to the filet mignon. But our New Year's strip, we're gonna cook in eel sauce. So we gotta clean this pan up. So we're gonna coat it in the eel sauce. And just pour it right on top. You want it to slowly cook into the steak. Make sort of like a glaze. That's it. Steak is nice and coated. We're gonna let it rest before we slice. And our filet mignon, we're also gonna let it rest. Now let's check on our chimichurri mix that we have sitting in the fridge. Looking good. We're gonna add that chopped parsley and cilantro that we did earlier. Again, olive oil is your best friend, but when you run out, you do what you gotta do. You wanna keep putting a good amount. Because that is what makes the consistency of the oil. Let's give it a mix. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. A little vinegar. Well, not a little bit, a good amount. Say about 2. Some pepper, some salt, a little bit of red pepper flakes. And that's it, voila. Now we're gonna give this a try, just to see if it needs any more salt, any more pepper, any more vinegar, any more oil. I do always like to add at the end a tiny bit of pureed garlic, just to seal the deal. bit more vinegar. A little bit more salt. Mix it well, and now we just let this sit in the fridge for like another 10-20 minutes so it can get, all the flavors can merge. Now for our garlic butter, very simple. Fresh garlic paste. Room temperature butter. Fresh thyme. And yes, this is the most efficient way to get thyme off the branch. Cut that up nice and small. Throw out any remaining little sticks that are left. Add this to our butter. Add some fresh rosemary. You can use dried herbs as well. I just prefer fresh herbs. I'm gonna mix this butter up. Make sure everything is mixed well. You don't want one piece tasting more like garlic than the other. To this, you can add truffle oil, Calabrian chili oil. We just put a little black pepper just to seal the deal. Alright, so let's get to cutting our steaks. And there we have some nice medium well steak. Nice and juicy. Ooh, that's my favorite thing. Now we're gonna slice our filet mignon. Nice medium rare. This we garnish with some of that butter. We didn't have time to roll it out, but it's okay. Little handy dandy tip, we can take that butter that we made, the garlic herb butter, and just use that to baste our steak and throw that yellow sauce right on top. And just baste. And that's it. I'm gonna pour some some of that yummy juice right on top. I wish you could smell the kitchen. Can you smell it, Jordan? And voila, we're done. New York strip and eel sauce, filet mignon and garlic herb butter, and skirt steak, nice and juicy skirt steak, and a chimichurri sauce. Bon appetit.